Hello again, welcome back to the woods. I'm Dave, I'm a therapist, counsellor and an outdoorsman, and that kind of all came together with WildPath, this kind of synergy, this coming together of my skills as an outdoorsman and tracker and the counselling skills that sort of all come together to me here and now. And in a previous video I'd been talking about the 5 elements of what I think happens when I'm out in the woods. And the first part was that assumption that we're an animal. This is where we belong. And a key part of understanding that it's a bit of a lesson in physiology, and all animals have those basic instincts. And that all stems from the top of our spine, right at the base of our brain. There's a set of organs known as the limbic system. It's part of our brain, and it's our most, well, some people call it the primitive brain, some people call it the monkey brain. It's been a part of us for generations, going pre-Neanderthal, and it's only ever done one thing. It's always looked out for those basic principles. Can I eat it? Will it eat me? Can I make friends with it? Will it help me perpetuate my gene chain? Will it help me? Can I procreate? And it doesn't really do cognition. It doesn't do thinking. It just works on feelings. And they're really simple feelings that you'll be really familiar with. So it's constantly looking out for the things that have enabled it to exist for so long. And it's at our core. It sits there because all the nerves that come into our brain, all of those impulses, all of that information that's coming in, the first thing it does is think, can I eat it? Will it eat me? Can I make friends with it? And I often use the bear in the bush as an analogy, because if I was walking through this wilderness, okay, I'm in Devon. This wilderness is not what it used to be, but we didn't used to be at the top of the food chain. So I might have been walking through an environment and seen a silhouette as it's getting dark that looks a bit like a bear. Now, as far as the limbic's concerned, if it's a bear, then it's going to eat me and it's a threat. If it's a bush, it's not a threat. But the problem is, if I spend too long thinking, is that a bear? Is that a bush? If I'm looking for detail, if I'm trying to go through some sort of a thought process, and it is a bear, it's too late. So that feeling that it gives is the release of hormones. It's cortisol, it's adrenaline, it's endorphins, it's painkillers. It's getting me ready for the fight or flight or freeze. And that's still there for us. That limbic is constantly doing that with all of the things that are, all that input that's coming in. And it can also confuse that with some of the thoughts that we have. So a gas bill or a funny look can be perceived as a threat, which immediately kicks off the same chain reaction. So immediately my body goes into fight, flight, freeze. And sometimes just in understanding that that's what's going on for me in a moment is enough to kind of stand down that system and take it off red alert. And that's a really important part of anything, is knowing, what is this feeling? What's it doing for me? Because my body's doing it for a reason. What's it trying to tell me? And is it something I need to pay attention to? Is it something I need to think about? Or is this just the limbic system a little bit out of its depth? Do I need to sort of take a more considered approach to this? And that pause, that distance, that gap can be all you need for the limbic to stand down. But have a think about it. And I'd be interested to know your experiences, those feelings that you have. How do you associate them? And where do they come from? Well, I hope that kind of explains that first part of the model that I work to. And I have no doubt there will be other videos to talk about the other stuff. Leave a comment down below if you think differently, or if you agree, or maybe you've got your own experiences. And I'm new to this whole world of social media, but I believe that likes and subscriptions make all the difference. So if you could take a few seconds just to do what needs to be done and like and subscribe, that'd be great. Thanks very much for listening. I'm sure I'll be back. Goodbye.